Hello, people of YouTube. My name is Steve Gray. Thank you for watching. Today we're going to be talking about Dr. Stone Season 3, Episode 2. We start off here with Ryusui eating some bread and being very angry about how terrible it is. Look at that face. I love these Dr. Stone funny faces. They are pretty hilarious. The villagers don't really seem to care. They say it's perfectly good. It's new to them, new taste, but he was like, true breads are unbelievable, um, and he needs a professional chef. Apparently, Senku can make the nitric acid from poo, but it takes a while. Um, but Ryusui knows that somebody's got some. But who? Who's got some? Who is hiding some revival fluid? I should have watched the intro. I did not. The outro was pretty good. It was pretty solid. But greed equals justice is the title of this episode. So we have Miss Journalist, whose name I am always forgetting. Um, he knows that she has some because she was the one that got to pick and choose the people that were getting revived, essentially. Because, she had the report of detail, she had a great knowledge of people, and knew who had what skills. And she does actually have some. So Senku makes her a promise, or I should say Gen makes her a promise, that Senku will make her something, even though Senku doesn't even know what it is yet. But you know how Gen is. So Francisois, Fran? Probably gonna butcher this name. It's French. I'm just gonna go with Fran. We're just gonna singular Fran because Francis sounds right. That sounds right to me. Like kind of like Francis to a certain extent. But that's who he wants revived. His butler. And it's actually funny because he has no idea what their gender is, and they are just referred to there. Nobody really questions it. Nobody says anything about it. There is no he or she. They are just referred to as Francis or Frances, however the heck you say their name in French, because it is French, and we don't know if this person's actually French or Japanese. They said it's a boy's name, but we have no idea. They throw on the clothes, and there's definitely some female characteristics, but who really knows? I guess we'll just kind of leave it as that. I feel like the face has definitely feminine characteristics, but if you look at their body, I feel like it's kind of like a skinny dude. But yet again, who knows? Master Chef, their job is to take care of Ryusui, and that is what they're doing. They kind of go back to camp. They assess the situation, and they're like, "How dare you serve this terrible bread to people?" I got a pretty good laugh out of that. You can see the anger in their face, and basically they were like, "All right, give me an exact amount of time you want this bread preserved for, like down to a T," and they just did. There's no questioning. There was no this, that. They just, analyzed what they needed to do, and they made this kind of Christmas bread with like nuts and berries. Um, it kind of they use the goat milk, obviously, because they're using that to suck the moisture out of the berries to ferment the berries. In order to get yeasts, and then they have to do it in a specific way with the moisture so bacteria won't grow. I actually did not realize this, that you can't, you don't just need a yeast packet. There are things that you can make to get yeast from. Um, then they're talking about the different temperatures. What needs to be made. It needs to be really, really high heat for the first 9 minutes for this particular type of bread. And then they kind of go on to describe it, and this is what it looks like. Kind of has this like whitish flour outer shell, and then you got the nuts and berries in there in the middle. And they gave a nice little presentation of it too, which is pretty neat. All the villagers were loving it. Everybody, even Senku was like, "Wow, this is like fresh out of a shop. Like, you just go to a bakery, buy this, and then good to go." Um, then they go on to describe it, where it's basically just water, salt, and flour. You just kind of let it set, fold it in a couple of different directions, And then you're good to go. Kaseke, we got him to come because whatever the heck we're making for the journalist requires some of his skill. And in the meantime, he was able to build a Gorilla 2.0, which is faster, can climb up hills, and yeah, he got bored and built a car. Yeah, how many people can say that? Oh, I got bored, so I just built a car. He was like, oh well, we already had the engine lying around, so I just slapped it together. Um, and then he ends up breaking and ruining his nice suit. So we start off with a mirror, and I think this is the first time Chrome is seeing himself in a mirror. And I'm actually surprised that Senku didn't make this earlier, being that I feel like mirrors can be very useful. They could have definitely been useful in season 2. You flick it as a reflection to show people where you're at. But whatever, we got a mirror. But that actually wasn't the point. The point of the mirror was to make something rather special, something that documents things, if you will. And there you have it, a camera. I mean, this is a very old version of a camera. We've seen him make glass lenses before, so no issue there. Kaseke made the box for it, and then we get a nice little sequence of the journalist's childhood, who I am forgetting, and her, basically missing her camera, because her camera was her life. A camera is a journalist's life. They're constantly taking pictures and documenting things all the time, and now she is going to be able to document humanity getting rebuilt. That's what she wants to do. And Segu also thought it was a good idea because, boom, look at all them bad boys. Look at all them bad boys. He made like 10 of them. Because he is going to take aerial photographs in order to try to figure out where things are in the landscape in order to get oil, because that's what they're still after. We haven't succeeded in getting oil yet, but aerial photos will help instead of trying to remember things from memory or drawing an aerial map from the sky. You just take a picture, a million times easier. You know exactly what you're looking at. So it kind of made the sentiment a little less special. She got a little bit angry. And I actually knew the picture they wanted to take immediately. She wanted to take the first picture. His greed isn't so tame, but basically, Frances here is explaining that Risui wants to bring other people into the fame with him. He wants to kind of build them up with himself. He doesn't want to do it alone. He's not in it just for himself. He's also in it for other people as well. But his greed, on the other hand, not so tame. Not so tame. And he was like, immediately trying to buy like all the rights to cameras and film rights. And I like how somebody made shopping bags. Like someone had the time to like make a shopping bag, and I thought that was kind of hilarious. I was like, well, at the same time, if it's made out of cloth, definitely a good thing, a good way to store things. But they made Senku do a couple of poses, and then he was like, let's do the pose of the most famous scientist. And if you don't know who that is, Albert Einstein. Most people, I would say the majority of the world know who Albert Einstein is. So they go up in the balloon. They're mixing chemicals in order to develop the film, which I don't know if you needed to actually have a mask initially for developing film, but then again, usually it's like in a box or something, or a dark room. But I don't know. You're doing stuff. You're cooking mercury. Mercury is definitely not good for you, so hence the gas masks. But yeah, Albert Einstein. There you go. They drew him out with his tongue sticking out, and that is the pose Senku did as well, with the tongue sticking out. And I remember, ironically, not a science teacher having this picture, but an English teacher had this picture, because I think it was something along the lines of like, even Albert Einstein took a break from science once in a while, or something along that. I don't remember the full lesson the teacher was trying to say of why that picture was in the class, or maybe she just liked it. Who the heck knows? But that's pretty much where we end the episode off. The outro, I did watch part of it. Pretty good outro, pretty good banger. Starts off with some English, so I could actually understand a little bit of it. Next episode is called First Contact. I'm assuming that is relating to oil. So I'm assuming that we are probably going to find oil next episode. We know we're getting 2 course, so it's either going to be 11 episodes and 11 episodes, or 12 episodes, 12 episodes, I believe. It's either 24 or 22. I'm not sure of the exact episode count at this time. Overall, solid 7 out of 10. I know a lot of people are like, oh well, yeah, it explains a lot of stuff in great detail, and it does. But I think the majority of people understand how to make bread. At least I think they do. I know this is kind of more rooted towards, like, I guess all age groups really. I don't think it's like specific for children, but I feel like the majority of people understand how to make basic bread. It's essentially flour, water, and yeast. Didn't know about the fermenting thing with the yeast with the fruit, but other than that, I feel like they spent maybe a little bit too much time on there, which is why I'm docking it a couple of points. But let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. While you're down here, hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell, leave a like, and let me know what you want to see for future anime and cartoon related content. Schedule-wise, as of right now, we are going to have double reviews. We're going to have Dr. Stone reviews on Thursdays and Demon Slayer reviews on Sundays. And maybe I will attempt to throw either a clip in there of something, and a couple of my 2 cents on it, where I usually do the shorter videos, or maybe a meme video here and there. I know a lot of you like when I do meme videos. They seem to get a decent amount of views, so might have to bring out some of those again. Thank you for watching it again, and as always, have a good one.